Welcome back, everybody, for map number 2 of this very interesting banger of a series, GGPR Esports versus Kinship Ghost. Now, this is the pick of Kinship Ghost, and there will be no more falling off the map sort of antics this time around. We might see some accidental non-diffuses or something of the sort, and I actually want to point that out real quick before we get back into the game, is that I was rewatching the clip. Kinship actually had a kit. I don't know why they weren't on the bomb. Maybe they just couldn't find it or something, but hey, that was always a very cute surprise. But Kinship, again, regardless of any antics of what happened in map number 1, map number 2 is a clean slate for them here, and GGPR will now have to face off against a fully rejuvenated T-side squad. Immediate kill is in for Dens as a retake. You know, it goes down without a hitch. I mean, quite honestly, they got that bomb down without any competition whatsoever, any competitiveness. Whatever phrase you want to use, there was none of it from GGPR. Kinship Ghost absolutely run over GGPR in that first round. The B-bomb site was free for the taking, and really having to play retake did not work out for them whatsoever. So already off to a much better start. Kinship, they won the pistol on map number 1, or at least that first pistol round. And they seem to be getting off to a much better start when, you know, GGPR, they aren't even bothering to try to buy up into this one. It's always a little bit interesting. Nice little boost in from Yurbad and Lowrider over towards mid. Surprised they actually hold on to that one for a little bit longer. Actually might have found a kill over towards Playground. Dens is lucky to be staying alive at the moment. However, the shots don't exactly work out for him. Very unfortunate gun to drop. That AK-47 now belongs to nobody except the floor, the ground. As Berserker will actually use it as an upgrade for himself. Lowrider nowhere to be found. I don't know why Yurbad was committing to that. I feel like Lowrider theoretically should have been with him to push Playground, but again, they're the ones who are 3-0 in main playoffs, not me. I'm sure they know how to play this game better than me. But GGPR, that's one of the big things that they needed. You know, favorable man advantages if they want to try to make this round work out. That's another really good start. They get a 1-for-1 with Lowrider being able to pick up one onto our boy AJP. AJP, who's one of a few bright spots for Kinship Ghost in map number 1. And already knocked down a peg into the second map. As the retake begins, there's no kits in play for GGPR, so they need to start moving quickly. They're all coming from the same direction as well, and so really it's just going to be all on trying to find this first kill. And they do a fantastic job of it. A 2-for-1 trade early on, and they've even spotted where this last player is, Noah P. I think they even have time for it as well. Oh, indeed they do. They have a bounty of time. They have so much to work with. And GGPR, I'll be damned, they're going to win the force-up. They get on the C4 immediately. There's an AK in Exotic's hands. That couldn't be much better from GGPR towards the end of it. You know, there was a couple of check marks that needed to be, check boxes rather, that needed to be crossed. And luckily every single one of them was met for GGPR to go ahead and work their way back into it. Obviously not the start that Kinship are looking for, and I mean, it does definitely suck to lose to an eco like that, but they're still trying their best to keep this one as competitive as they can. They're not giving up just yet. Kinship will force up everything that they got. You're seeing Tech 9s and other various pistols, as well as an AK-47 in Berserker's hands, and a MAC-10 for Noah to work with. A bit of a mishmash of weapons, but I'm sure that they'll be able to find decent enough results. Moving fast has been kind of Kinship's game so far on both maps. An early aggression. But that just kind of seems like commonplace for NACS. It's not exactly the strangest thing in the world to say exactly that. But GGPR seem to be completely comfortable with the pace that Kinship are bringing to the table. They're losing some of these duels at the most pivotal moments, however, and that means that Kinship goes, well, they'll be able to pivot. They get a 1-for-1, and Kuzi surprisingly is able to find that first kill. I cannot believe, genuinely cannot believe GGPR won that round. Berserker, he just doesn't check where the smoke is. I'm not sure if that's like something on the view models. Maybe his view model was covering where that smoke was, but that was a duel that Berserker should have won. And Kinship Ghost, unfortunately, they will lose it. But, you know, they had some excuses. You can think about, maybe it's the artillery disadvantage that they had innately, but they're still able to win some of their fights convincingly. Kinship Ghosts, they're so close to being able to make a lot of great things work out, but they're struggling to really pass that marker. Like, again, even though map number 1 was a 16-5, and this one is already off to a great start for GGPR, I want to make it fully known that Kinship is not like a bad team or anything. They're just really so close to getting on that mark, but GGPR is just kind of outplaying them in very important moments. This is no different. Kinship Ghosts, they get off to a good start by being able to take down one player over towards B. But, despite the best antics, Creed will find a double. They aren't choking in very important moments. That's always huge. Kinship Ghost. Well, I mean, there's not much footing for them to stand on right now. While they only have pistols, it's going to be hard to break the ice. If they can force a bomb down somewhere, that's going to be their best bet at somehow converting this. But Promise making his presence known over towards B kind of minimizes any chance of that working out. Bomb is a bit laggy. Or a bit lagging behind. Maybe laggy isn't the right word. It has a very different connotation when you're playing, video games. The bomb is lagging behind. Just a very haphazard late round push from Kinship Ghost absolutely leads to nothing. Not even a bomb plant. Not more than one kill. Slight economical damage, I suppose you can say. That's always a big thing to remember. Is that on the CT side, again, your economy is extremely, extremely brittle. One bad round here, one bad round there. Suddenly you're going to find yourself in a single or, worst case scenario, double eco. GGPR, they realize that it's a very dangerous bridge that they have to cross in those 15 rounds, and they'll try their best to try to aggress, bring that T-side momentum into the CT side, I suppose, of things. 1-for-1 trade to start things out. And Kinship Ghosts, their immediate mid-round call, I think should be try to bring it out over towards B. They just spotted 2 players out over towards Playground, but no one is really taking any fights over towards B. There's a couple of smokes brought out. GGPR, they're able to up the ante amazingly well. They find 2 more. Promise. Well, he's going to be the promised person, the promised hope for Kinship to get into this one. Because, I mean, just a very slow push onto B, but luckily the shots are in. Beautiful second kill from Promise. Now Kinship have a real shot. This is what I'm saying. The individual skill is there and the potential is there for Kinship as well, but GGPR have just been really ahead of the game, and this will be no different. You're Bad and Exotic will get the final 2 of the round, making it that 4-1 score. I just did not like how Kinship. I almost called them Exotic Gaming for some reason. I think there's like an actual team named Exotic Gaming or something, and since there's a player named Exotic, I was like, yep, that's him. But, I just, honestly, Kinship Ghost, while they were taking down a player immediately off the bat, that sucks, but I don't feel like the mid-round calls to try to work for a little bit more or push in through connector. I think it should have been just like an immediate B hit or something of the sort. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and I most likely will never know, but I just want to know what their comms are looking like at that moment, because it just seemed like a very haphazard mid-round call. Kinship Ghost, again, I always fall back to that same saying. They're so close to brilliance, so close to making this look very good for them, but GGPR outplaying them at key moments. And because of that, they're looking lost. They need some sort of direction, and while this round probably won't be the solace that they're hoping for, maybe it can provide a much-needed bomb plant and a bit more money in their pockets to work with in the coming rounds. It's going to be definitely an uphill battle for them. Going to have to win the next 2 maps in a row, reverse sweep GGPR. Otherwise, they're going to be knocked down into the loser's bracket, and that's never fun for obvious reasons. Lowrider finds the first kill, however, and AJP gets a very nice trade through as well. There's no one there to trade him out, luckily. His teammates will do that job, but, well, 3 versus 3, this is where those pistols really start to falter. GGPR, they've been very disciplined in their retake so far, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Very good by Kinship to at least make it this far, however. They get that bomb through, a bit more money in their pockets to work with, plus they took down 2 guns of the CT side. That's a bit more eco damage done. But all in all, despite all those things I just said about Kinship Ghost, it's going to be another one on the board for the CT side. Into number 7. Kinship. Not a bad buy whatsoever. They're finally going to be bringing out the sniper. We saw them use a decent amount of the big green gun. When we're on Vertigo, they're actually opting for that double sniper CT setup, working to not exactly the finest of degrees, but I think Overpass might suit them a little bit better. What won't suit them, however, is this immediate early round call. This is so bad. Kinship Ghost, they haven't taken any mid presence or A presence whatsoever. GGPR, I don't know why they're not doing it, but they could fully stack over towards Connector and B if they wanted to. There's almost no other place that they can go at the moment. There's a player in Connector that I was talking about. Takes first blood. And Kinship Ghost, I mean, again, they only have one direction they can go, and that's over towards B. They will be able to find the kills that they need behind it, so I guess it really doesn't matter how good of a read you have on the situation when you aren't finding the kills. But GGPR, they can just kind of enclose now as this retake begins. Eurobad will actually find the first 2 kills. Keep an eye on him. He's managed to find out something wonderful. A double kill, and he's continuing to try to push for a little bit more. Now moving in over towards Pit. He's going to have another one in his sight lines as he collects the third. His teammate Creed will find another. It's going to be those 2 members of GGPR cleaning up the entire enemy side of Kinship. Another very good round from GGPR. I need to see a default from Kinship right now. Once they have guns in their hands, I want to see something slower. They did a slow push over towards B, and I like how they're taking water control. I like how they're spamming it down. But, I mean, GGPR, they've punished mid every single time. Keep an eye on what they're going to be doing here. It's probably going to be a very similar recipe. They have one jump into park immediately, and then sometimes they just decide to walk up over towards Fountain. Of course, as I say that, they're not doing it. And so I just look like Bobo the Clown. But whatever. I'm not a clown. Maybe GGPR getting a pretty decent read on how Kinship like to play this as well. They've stacked 3 people over towards B. Kuzi playing anti-flash. Wow, they are fully dedicated through Monster right now. Is this going to be a push from them? I don't think so, right? No, Dents. Oh, no, Dents. Don't push through. That's so dangerous to go for. Luckily, he gets the kill. That is big. Exotic. Well, we'll strike back in the same fashion, however. Finding 2. 1 through the smoke. And 1 just trading out his comrade in arms. But no fault to Kinship in that regard, however. It was incredibly risky for Dents to push through that smoke, but it's a calculated risk. There's not going to be many times where the CTs decide to have 3 people holding through Monster. It's not a bad call whatsoever. I mean, you just gotta, I guess, expect the unexpectable, as Captain Alex once famously say. Or, sorry, it's not Captain Alex who said that. It's, whoever voiced who killed Captain Alex. Whatever. We'll get to that a little bit later. We don't have to talk about Ugandan films, Ugandan action films at all, because an action film won't be happening right in front of our eyes. Kinship Ghost. Holy hell, they just absolutely snipe away at every member on the B-bomb site. Wonderful play by them. Again, that's what I'm saying. Kinship, they have the skill. They can win these rounds. And sometimes all you need to do is make a contact play work out. Beautiful shots through. Again, obviously, we couldn't have the camera on all the members of Kinship Ghost there as they were getting their kills, but at least we saw one player's POV as his teammates managed to make all the action happen. And GGPR, and remember what I said previously about the CT economy being so frail. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They lost 1 round, and suddenly they're onto kind of shambles. They have an AWP. That's not bad. They also have that AK, which is very, very nice. But, you know, CZ75 is what Exotic has to work with. Sure, the CZ is a great gun, but it doesn't stack up very well against the AKs and AWP that Kinship have in their pockets right now. Push in. This is actually very telegraphed. Maybe GGPR can make something out of it. Great nade and molly through, but they need to get the kill behind it, and indeed, they don't falter when given the opportunity. Your Bad tries to hold the line once more, but that kill will eventually be converted on in from Kinship Ghost. A very clean push in towards the A. Bomb site will lead to a nice third round for them. That's the confidence I want to see. GGPR, Kinship Ghost rather, now's a very good time for them to maybe work for a little bit more. As you see, GGPR, their eco's again in shambles. They're not even going to be able to have a AWP forced up, no FAMASs, hell, no CC75s. We're only seeing P250s and USPs across the board, baby. Stacking up over towards mid, it has been kind of the bread and butter play for GGPR so far this game. This time, though, there's a lot more competition to be had. Kinship Ghost, they're learning their lessons. This is what they need to do if they want to get themselves mentally back into the series. No longer are they just having these incredibly one-dimensional plays out over towards, B or, God forbid, A long or something. No, they're starting to spread their wings a little bit more. Everybody is occupying every part of the map. And the rewards will be very, very numerous. 4 rounds on the board and a near flawless one, although your Bad is able to pick up an AWP, which could cause a little bit more damage. Oh, he's gonna... No, okay. I thought he was gonna throw the gun out of the map. He was thinking about it. Kinship are gonna be on the prowl. They have the money to go for this, in theory. Or do they? They're actually having second thoughts. Second thoughts be damned. They'll find it. Very good round from Kinship Ghost. They even pick up the op at the end of it as well. So, you can put that over into Berserker's hands, who's actually leading the charge at the moment for his team. 11 kills. Exotic, meanwhile, will be the front runner for GGPR at 14. Kinship Ghost. Maybe now they have some more motivation to work with, but as I say that, another gun round is in play from GGPR. This is where their dreams can be quickly dashed away one more time. But Kinship Ghost, again, they've learned their lesson. They're aggressing out over towards B, but this time it's more than just that one-dimensional push that we saw previously. There's presence being made over towards mid. Dens realizes, though, that maybe he can't linger around there for too long. GGPR have deserted the place as well. That map control, it's gone from Kinship Ghost, but really now it's just kind of a neutral area. Nobody's occupying it, and because of that, Kinship Ghosts are completely fine to go back to it. Now their mid-round opens up completely. This is exactly what Kinship needed to do. They're looking so much better because of it. It's a 3 versus 3, always favoring the T side as well. They're going to win this by the numbers game alone. Kinship are playing this fantastically so far, all grouped up and ready to bring it out over towards the A bomb site. Lone Rider over towards B, and the 2 healthy players of GGPR will be here to hold down A for the most part. But maybe there is some hesitation in GGPR regarding their setup. They realize that, hey, Kinship could easily bring this out over towards B if they wanted as well. Hearing a couple of flashes burst out, Low Rider holding an off angle will find 1 kill. He's incredibly low on HP, however, so he's going to be kind of in a one-and-done position. You would hope Exotic would be able to find something a little bit more, but no. The answer is a resounding Kuzi now has to pull off a 1-on-2 here. Has to be spotted by Promise, who will then dance around the other side of the box. And will actually complete a triple kill. Wonderful round from Kinship Ghost. Exactly what you need to see again. That's always what I harken back to. Once they finally start getting some of those big fundamentals out of the way, they're looking so much more comfortable. They nearly even things up, and we'll have the opportunity to do exactly that heading into number 12. GGPR equipped with pistols. We'll have a couple of deagles to ring into the ears and place bullets into the skulls. First shots are made. First of many shots, perhaps. They'll back off quickly. This is free domain for Kinship. They're in a very standard default position. You don't need to break up the playbook whatsoever. The only area where they haven't really bothered to prod is over towards long, and that's because they know that it's a little bit of a death trap. 2 players are located over towards there, so it's not going to be that full B stack that they have to worry about. Which means that AJP can have his choice of CTs to take down. There is 1 kill for GGPR, but far and away the kill feed is painted yellow. As it surely will be evened up 6-6 now. Exotic. I think he heard AJP walking up. Now is kind of the question of, do they commit for this kill? Oh yeah, no, they're gonna get this one for free. Boop, he's dead. Oh, wait a second. Exotic actually gets a second one. What should have been a very clean round from Kinship is actually starting to look incredibly bad for them. Oh my god, Promise has died as well. How has GGPR managed to do this? I don't understand whatsoever. Noah, bring us back to reality, please. You're the only thing that makes sense! Oh my god, no! GGPR, that's a second eco they've won! Why? Oh god, why? Jesus, there's so much you can dissect from that. GGPR, they should not have gotten away from that. I'll be honest. That is an undeserved round from them, but you know what? Hell, GGPR, take my breath away. No, I'm not going to say it's an undeserved round from them. You know, they were given the opportunity and they leaped upon it, but Kinship Ghosts, they should not have done that. Giving up that first kill, you know, that's just unfortunate. AJP, not much he can do. He's just caught off guard by a couple of pistols. But the second and third points of contact, that is not okay. You cannot do that. Hell, you know, even Promises, his peak wasn't bad. He was given a flash, but it's just so risky. I don't know. I don't like that one bit. Again, here comes the armchair analyst, but even I can see the problems in that. GGPR, they should not be able to win ecos. They did it. I want to call that out. 7-5, surprisingly, will actually be our scoreline for now. So the inevitable 6 is staved off for now by Kinship. And into this next one we go. 13 is looking awfully unlucky for Kinship as they make it a 1-for-1. There we are. Maybe their luck is finally starting to change. Very beautiful contact play in. Leads to the demise of multiple CT members. Nice little dunk nade for good measure. I mean, Promise was on 3 HP. Hell, they could have lobbed a smoke grenade at him and it would have had the same effect. GGPR, I mean, they got away with a 2 versus 4 eco retake. 2 versus 3 just kind of feels like a very easy challenge for them, really. They've already found the second kill in, and don't tell me these are going to be back-to-back, you know, man disadvantageous retakes. That would just be kind of absurd at this point. Yeah, the absurd is not going to happen more than once in a row. Lowrider, he can get 2 kills, but I don't think he has enough time on the clock to actually get away with this defuse. Yeah. Very good attempt, though, GGPR, but your luck has run out. I was a little bit concerned, though, as soon as he got that second kill. I was like, oh, God, what if he actually does have this? But no. Kinship. They got it. 7-6 we go. GGPR. Back onto a broken bye. Really, I have many questions about this buy up from GGPR as well. Lots of pistols. Lowrider is, you know, sitting pretty with an AWP. This team has done a very fantastic job with just those pistols, and I'm not even sure if an op was needed here, especially when it's not going to find blood immediately. Losing out on that first shot. Now Kinship Ghosts probably realize that they don't have to bother with even going towards that A site whatsoever. Does Lowrider move to the B bomb site as a response? That's a different question entirely, because surely Kinship Ghosts have the answer. That answer is going to be yes. Let's bring it towards the B bomb site here. Let's die as well. Is also what Promise adds to the end of his sentence. Falls to an MP9 in Creed's hands, and Creed, speaking of which, will extend for another. He's going to be able to find 2. And although Kinship Ghosts surely will be able to close this out just by that numbers advantage alone, if they can find 1 more kill, this will be very significant economical damage. The same goes for GGPR, however, and plus not being able to even find that kill. You know, it doesn't matter what I say. GGPR, again, their luck has run out on winning these very unlikely situations. as we enter the last of the half. The eco is not going to look very pretty whatsoever. That's a little bit why I was concerned for GGPR, deciding to force up those MP9s, those Eagles, and that AWP from Lowrider. I just didn't exactly see it panning out in the long term. They'll be punished for it. Hodgepodge of guns. Hamas's MP9s. And what is that smoke trying to accomplish? I know that was a counter utility, but I don't really think that did much of anything. Play again. That default from Kinship has been an absolute game changer for them. Right now, really the only thing I have concern for is where Eurobad is located. There's no one to trade him out. He's in this one all alone, man. He can't get through. Best case scenario, he gets a double spray down right here. But is that going to happen? Yes, it is. Oh my god. Holy. I am a magician, man. I can call that thing when I see it. Eurobad somehow sprays down 2 with a FAMAS. Kuzi gets 1. And Kinship Ghosts suddenly are stuck in a 2 versus 5. Barely any breathing room from them. Holy hell, Eurobad. I don't know how he got that. I mean, he's still staying alive, too. Not making any sound as he still lurks over towards A long. And, well, Denz is doing a good job at evening up the score somewhat, but not good enough of a job. A 2 versus 5 ends in a 2 versus 0, and GGPR will inch out on the CT side of Overpass. All right. Kinship Ghosts, I see you. Yeah, they were off to a pretty bad start. What was it at one point? I think 5-1 or 6-1 perhaps? They had started to have a pretty nice run of form towards the mid part of that. I think there's a lot that you can take, a lot of positive points that you can take out from Kinship Ghost after their first half performance, despite the, less than optimal performance. As GGPR now move on to the T side of things. Well, we saw their T side on Vertigo, but God knows what Overpass is going to look like. King Killer says, the CT economy is trash. If you go 6-1 and lose a round, it immediately is an eco. You said it, man. I mean, seriously, that's just kind of the nature of the CT side nowadays. I really feel like CSGO has just shifted into becoming a T-side game as of recent, especially back when the Krieg was like the big meta. Holy hell, the game was just... I never thought that I'd actually want to start on the T side, but it seemed to be the case. Well, into the second half of play now. Kinship definitely doing a lot better than they're showing on Vertigo, that's for certain. But if they can close it out in style, that would be fantastic. Force us to that map number 3. Their map pick is looking promising. Not promising enough to exactly go riding home just yet. 7-8, and GGPR with a very linear conga line push in over towards B. They need to find that first kill, but no, it overwhelmingly goes in the favor of Kinship Ghost. But as I actually take a gander at the spectator UI, it's gone down into 2 versus 2. I don't understand how GGPR are squeaking this one out. Again, I was completely caught off guard time and time again what GGPR are able to pull off in these really strange scenarios. By all means, by all expectations, Kinship Ghost, I mean, they had a perfect flash to take down 3 members of GGPR. I'm surprised they were able to even up and actually find themselves in the driver's seat. Black Caesar, this is ESEA main, my friend. 7-9, 7-9. It's a good start from GGPR. What I would have thought would have been I wouldn't say a gimme round from Kinship, but what seemed like a pretty favorable round from them doesn't go their way. I think they realized that maybe they got a little bit schmozzed on that. They're going to choose to force up into this next one, buying up the Scout. An immediate investment, or immediate worth found right there. Good tag. Looks can be deceiving. It looks like Promise had the right idea, but maybe just a tad off of being able to get that shot in. Kinship Ghost. This is a very worrying round for them. I mean, even in the best scenarios, you know, they win the round. The economy still isn't great for them. I mean, I just feel it's a bit too early to try to bring out the scout. None of his other teammates really dedicated to the idea nearly as much as him. Dens has a Deagle full armor, and, well, it looks like it's done pretty decent work so far. Here comes the contact play in. This is exactly what I wanted to see Kinship do previously. When they lose a player at the opposing site, go ahead and just bring it to the other direction entirely, the other site completely, and you're going to find pretty decent results. They find 2 kills, 3rd, and a 4th, just like that, and the eco players are all done. King Killer says, was a nice first tag by them, no lie. Seems like a weird buy, though. Exactly what I'm saying, and we're going to see it come to fruition. Exactly what I was worried about. Promise, he's going to have a P250, and that's it. His team can't buy, man. That could have been a 3rd round buy if Dens and Promise decided not to. I understand that there is a risk associated with buying up, but I just don't think that risk was worth it. Getting together that 3rd round buy just seems like so... You know, it seems like the right idea, especially since your eco is going to be about even at that point. Now it's just going to be a freebie for GGPR to win. It's a 3-on-5 already, and we just got started. There's still much more CS to be played. Maybe not much more if you're Kinship Ghost in this round. Bomb just about to get retrieved as well, but this is textbook stuff from GGPR. They're spreading their wings all the way across overpasses and many sites. And they're getting every single inch of space that they could ever hope for. Noah, at the minute mark, will find himself alone against 5 players. Hawaiian shirt says, that's my line. You're right, man. I'm so sorry. That line was courtesy of a Hawaiian shirt, copyright 2020. 7-11 right now. Makes me want a smoothie. Or a Slurpee, excuse me, and that's what they're called. Smoothies are very different things, I've learned. Well, Kinship Ghost, there's that buy that you were hoping for. That I was hoping for. That I think everybody was hoping for. We want to see actual gun rounds come into play. We don't want to see a broken half buy where some people are dedicated to the idea of buying up guns and others aren't. That's not good CS to watch. Now everybody's on the same page. And while GGPR on paper have the worst buy, or the worst buy rather, Galeals still aren't half bad. Utility is lacking as well. 3 smokes, but no flashes whatsoever. It means that this is going to have to be a dry peek in. Up against that AWP, you can probably see players like Berserk go huge. Look for that as an execute inevitably begins in the next couple of seconds. GGPR, they're setting up for it here. You see that Kuzi has done his job lurking out. And Berserker, smoked in, Molotov down, still has a really decent chance to cause damage. There's no flash that's going to be coming in. They don't have to worry about that. Exotic and Promise will trade blows, taking down a member from each other's team, but Berserker still lies in wait, waiting for the T's to walk into his crosshairs, but they won't oblige him. Great tag in on the Creed. He puts him down to 2 HP. There's still life yet for Kinship Ghost. Dens will show exactly why as he gets a kill on Kuzi. Berserker through the smoke with that pistol is able to get the job done with a sidearm. It's all up to Yourbad, who will find the first, but not the second kill that they need. Berserker, at the last and most clutch possible moment, does come alive. The flashes make all the difference, man. That's what I'm telling you. Now, do I think, having a single flashbang onto Berserker would have changed up that round completely? No. But I think following his POV really showed off, the value of just staying alive. You don't always have to extend your boundaries too much and try to find crazy multi-kills to start things out. Berserker, he just had to stay alive, and his job was completed, practically done for him. For Kinship, now is the time for them to build up a little bit more of a healthy economy, and they're off to a great start. 3 kills, 4 kills surely coming into their way very, very soon. And GGPR, they're not done yet either. I don't even get a chance to breathe, and Kinship goes, suddenly they're struggling. Why? It's a 5 versus 2. Why are they having this much of a problem? GGPR, they just can't let anything go for free. These dudes, they fight tooth and nail, man. They really do. Oh my god, Low Rider. He's got it down to 1 versus 1 as well. Surely Berserker can close this one out, right? He has the right idea. He's watching the right angle. Kuzi and Low Rider have done all the work. 2 kills apiece. But maybe Berserker, again, can show off that virtue of staying alive for as long as you can. Oh, Berserker, he's watched the wrong angle. Low Rider doesn't realize what he stumbled upon. Surely they realize at this point that Berserker probably is going to be watching out over towards heaven. He is the opper. You're not often going to see an AWP located over towards short. But they both have neither of them have an idea of where the other is located. They're slowly starting to meet in the middle. Smoke in over towards short. Now Berserker knows that he's onto the right thing. He's on exactly the right course of action. Oh, the plant is faked. I think he's seeing on the side of his scope as well. Berserker, he just has to move out a couple of inches, and then he's given the kill. It couldn't be closer if he tried to script it, I'll tell you. GGPR just nearly went their way, but that is not a sustainable way to win your rounds. Kinship Ghost, they nearly gave up a 2 versus 5. I'm actually really surprised Low Rider had no idea that it could be, from heaven or through CT. He's so situated on the idea that it could have been over towards short. I don't know why, though. I think there was a T knife on Zen's. I don't think that's going to make that big of a difference, but it's notable. One more thing I want to mention. Again, the eco is coming into effect from the CT side. Kinship Ghosts, they've won the past 2 rounds, but you would never be able to tell, considering the buy that Kinship have together. They have MP9s in play. Like, this is very, very dangerous territory for them to be treading. On the verge of having their economy completely broken down. And a couple of players tagged up as well. Promise and Dens. Even Noah as well. That puts him within 2 body shot range, which I guess is somewhat important if you don't want to go for the headshots. But GGPR probably don't know that just yet. All quiet on the western front for now, though. GGPR make a little bit of noise, and Promise realizes that he can just hold this angle. What is the mid-round call? Are they actually going to continue with the A exec? Surprisingly, Kinship Ghost, they haven't tried to extend for anything over towards B. They have the right idea to do it in case that maybe it's going to be faked back late into the round, but now they're going to be a little bit late to the punch, as the CT set up for a post plant. They might not even have to get that far. I'll be honest. This is a very, very promising position for Kinship Ghost. Great nade onto Urbad. Oh, this is just wonderful, Kinship. That is how you hold down a site. King Killer was saying that Promise was in the best spot there, but no, I mean, really. Apparently, it's just you just have to hold down on site. One angle that I've been seeing used a lot recently is this angle, just right here, holding here. That bank smoke doesn't often cover it. A lot of times, it actually converts into a kill or two, so be wary for that in your personal game, I suppose. But, a very hollow buy from GGPR this time around. Just going to be a nice little chance for Kinship to work on their economy a little bit more, something that you'll always need if you're going to be onto the CT side. And it won't be a problem for them whatsoever. As we move to an 11-11 scoreline, a third map is seeming very, very likely and very, very possible at this point. Now, will it come to fruition? Different question entirely. And both teams are nearly there. Aggression from Kinship. Maybe searching for an op kill into playground. I like that. It's not really something that they've adopted all too much. That GGPR were very willing to do. Considering Long is going unchecked, Kinship Ghost have actually stumbled upon a very, very opportune location for them. Even if Berserker just shift walks out of here silently, that is going to be a huge key for them in future rounds. They do actually manage to get a kill out of it, though, and that is big news. GGPR, now they have to realize that, hey, not even long is safe on our default. We need to start including that in every single round that we play from here on out. Kinship Ghosts, they're starting to exploit the small little details, the small little holes in GGPR's play right now. And it's making all the difference. It's gotten them a number of rounds on the board. And although the fight back from GGPR is always, always good, it might not be good enough. Still, Kinship Ghosts, they're struggling in these gunfights. GGPR, they've been so good in these. You know, they've gotten near 2 versus 5 conversions, and they might be able to do similar antics this time around. I don't know how that was a tag. It looked like it was like by the crotch region, but whatever. Crotch shots are not the headshot that you hope. And a post plant begins with GGPR already being knocked down one player. Spam through, so close to actually finding that killing blow onto Dens. As he will find himself alone. He'll need to divide his fights. Knows both players and where exactly they're located. He'll take out the first, but the second is a bit too tall of an order. And 12 rounds will be put on the board for GGPR. A bit too close for comfort, however. And, I mean, take a gander at this by GGPR. They need to pass this one with flying colors. This needs to be a relatively convincing round for them, and it's honestly not looking great. Utility isn't half bad. Kinship Ghosts. You know what? Let me just go ahead and rethink my sentence, how I want to go about saying this. This is a turning point. Kinship Ghosts and GGPR both have incredibly broken economies at the moment, and whoever wins this one will probably be able to put themselves well on the way of securing match point. This round means everything. And because of that, I am incredibly scared for Kinship Ghosts. Again, knowing that CT economy and also knowing that they're down a round. They're down but not out. They're so close to being able to force us to map number 3, while GGPR, no! They'll punish anything that's being done by the CTs at this point now. AJP tossing over that smoke into water, or into Monster, I believe it was. That gives away his position, and I mean, that man was on life support. Now he's just dead in the water. Oh, and another one too. Oh, man. Said GGPR need to pass this round of flying colors, and right now they are acing this test. 3 on 5. And Hawaiian Shirt said it best. This is huge. This is absolutely game-changing. Noah will have to pull off a miracle of a hold. Same story with Berserker, who actually will find first blood. But no, neither of those miracles will come to fruition. That's got to be the AWP save. Berserker going to be finding the only kill. It's going to be 13 for GGPR. The only option for Kinship, the only option for Berserker is to save that sniper. Anything else is suicide. GGPR, they have a little bit of money to spare, but they can't give away all their guns. Their money isn't that great, man. They give away 2. Not half bad. And a little bit of tactical crouching towards the end of it as well. And there it is. GGPR, they've all but secured themselves 14 at this point, unless we're able to see something crazy, a GGPR round come through from Kinship. We're going to be seeing 14. Stack over towards bathrooms. I love seeing the bathroom stack here and even tossing down that smoke to fake some sort of B presence. GGPR's default should be able to sniff out this, however. I'm not exactly scared just yet, but you know, Kinship, they have the right idea on how to play this one. Good flash in. Smoke over towards bathrooms as well. Kinship, really all they have to do, hold the line. Oh no, that's a pistol given away. You're bad. That's going to be a vital piece of information if he tries to scour for a little bit more. Kinship need to scatter, man. They need to scatter. Oh no, it's given away, man. They can't just keep holding down in bathrooms. They know exactly where they're located. GGPR, they're choosing to go for these kills. It's so dangerous. Oh my god. You don't want to walk into a hornet's nest like that, man. The CTs are going to be able to punish it with 1 kill. Oh god, 2 kills. What have they done? Oh, Jesus. No, they've actually given them a real decent chance at this. Why are you doing this, GGPR? They gave away so much damage. Oh, Jesus, no. Whatever, whatever. At least they get the round. At least they get the round. I'm not sure, again, if that was the best idea for GGPR to push into those pistols, but I was very, very scared after Berserker found those two. Confidence indeed. Yeah, no, I think you're definitely right in that regard. One of the last possible rounds for Kinship to get themselves back into this game. And what do they have to show for it? Well, they have Ops, a glass cannon set up for Berserker. Almost, zero utility to speak of, however. That's a real big headline to pay attention to. Kinship Ghost. Some of that counter utility. Okay, well, we'll get to that later. That's why the glass cannon maybe isn't always the best of ideas. He's already dead, man. I think this game is just about over. Promise. Hold the line. Come on, man. You gotta show up for something. Kinship Ghosts need you. They absolutely need him. The promised hope. He's come alive, but only for 2 kills. Oh, and this is looking terrible now. GGPR, sure, they're losing a number of players. Actually, wait. Even more players than I would have expected. A 1-on-2 for Low Rider. Kinship Ghosts, never mind. I counted my chickens before they could hatch. And Kinship Ghosts will punish me for my ambitious antics. They're not out of this one. Late round play. They wrap all the way around. Connector. I thought GGPR were going to be able to win that numbers game, but no. I suppose not. Nothing is ever as easy as it seems. 12-14. Berserker, top of the scoreboard at the moment with 29 kills in regulation. Doing pretty formidable so far, and that 30 bomb doesn't seem out of the question. I feel like it's going to be necessary just to try to bring us to map number 3. Bit of a lull. Bit of a break before we get back into the utter chaos that is going to be late game CS. The buy-up from GGPR. I'm surprised that they actually want to bring AK-47s into it. I don't even feel, they could have just fully saved. But GGPR, that's that confidence really starting to eke out, rather. Maybe they'll be punished for their sins of being all too aggressive. The AK doesn't find any bloodshed, but now the FAMASas and M4s will come to life. They take down a flurry of players over towards B. The C4 might get planted, but that's about it. GGPR, say hello to 13-14. What is the buy going to look like, too? Terrible from GGPR, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, I don't know why. I don't agree with their choice to get up AKs and pistols. I feel like taking a bit of a slower approach would have done completely fine, but whatever. We're fine. GGPR, they've been down this road before. They've won 2 eco rounds so far just in this map alone. And yeah, you can start to see some of the frustration come out from Kinship. Berserker, wiggling his mouth. That is a universal gamer sign for I'm annoyed. But, maybe he can use that anger to channel it into some more BDE. He gets that 30 bomb that he's been hoping for a while. Kinship should be able to clean up these pistols without any issue whatsoever, as they've already failed to find 2 members. And they've actually been bogged down 2 members of their own volition. Promise. Might be walking into a hornet's nest right here. A lot of these players seem completely fine walking into potential pistol stacks, and I don't really understand why. It just doesn't seem like a very sustainable plan. Kuzi gets another one on the board for GGPR, but the expected result will indeed come through. 14-14. We're going to be seeing the full 30 rounds come out. Regulation is going to be a thing of the past very, very soon. Who would have thought? I mean, after how map number 1 looked for Kinship, I mean, I knew that Kinship had it in them, but I didn't think that they'd be showing up this hard. Molly in. Some aggro play to start things out on a good note for GGPR. Playground is fully under siege. Berserker, oh my lord, is he actually pushing for this? That is so dangerous! You can't do that! No, Berserker! I understand the confidence that he was wreaking, but there's no one there to help him. Oh, Kinship Ghost, that is just such an unfortunate whiff. And Berserker has been so good in situations like that as well. Again, he's dropped the 30 bomb already. You would bet your house on him hitting that. But unfortunately, Jackpot has been struck. But not for Kinship, but for GGPR. They get it into a 5v4. One step closer to getting themselves onto 15 first off, but also getting themselves on the board for a potential 4-0 and guaranteed spot in ESEA Advanced. So close yet so far. GGPR. It's time for one of the potential final executes of this game. This is just for all the marbles really here. Obviously, it's not the 16 that they hoped for, but it's going to be for 15, and they're working hard. They're going to be able to do the job just fine. It's going to be a 4 versus 2. My voice is cracking, and so is the defense from Kinship Ghost. 3 versus 2. It's all quiet for now. Again, a little bit of a lull in the silence, but the silence will be quickly broken by 1 kill. AJP now left to his own devices, but he's going to have to pull off a play worthy of device in order to get 15 on the board for Kinship Ghost. He taps the bomb, but has no idea on where these two players are situated. Bomb has been spotted. They know that he's not sticking on it. AJP, wave yourself goodbye, man. We're going to the full 30, and GGPR, they are in the driver's seat. They've done it, man. GGPR. They've been fighting this one tooth and nail. It was 8-7 at the half. Both of these teams have been showing up hard. But now it's going to be a very hard-fought victory for Kinship. Just to bring it to OT, much less actually win it, bring it to map number 3. And what do they have to show for it? Well, not much. Berserker has a scout. It pales in comparison to that op that he had just around previously. Plus, he's taken a tag. His teammates, they're not exactly looking great either. There's an M4 in Denz's hands and AJP with that AK that he acquired in number 28. Or number 29, I should say, excuse me. At this point, all I'm thinking about is GGPR. There's no way they choke this one, right? Looks like Promise will be in a very good position with his newfound FAMAS. There's a smoke in over towards B. First kill goes away of GGPR. And here comes the fall. The first of the potential final 4 members. Who's going to be the first to step up to bat? Because they're going to have to swing and they're going to have to get a home run. Flash. GGPR, they're playing this so slowly. It's almost an art in some sort of fashion. GGPR, take a gander at the minimap. It looks like they actually want to bring this out over towards B. Kuzi has known that no one has pushed over towards the T spawn. It's going to be free for the taking to set up and get ready into every single position that they can hope. Here comes the fall. Here comes the breakthrough. Exotic will go ahead and break the ice, break the silence, and he'll actually go down. Lowrider and Kuzi both making contact in towards B at the moment. There's 20 seconds left on the clock. They need to start moving in. Kinship Ghost are holding on, if just barely. Here comes the scout in through heaven right now, but now it's going to be everybody on Kinship Ghost being sent to heaven. AJP versus the world. I think GGPR have just about pulled it off. Welcome to ESEA Advanced, GGPR. You earned it. You have worked for it so hard. Oh my god, my voice is failing just as much as the defense is from Kinship Ghost. They have done it. GGPR, they'll take it 2-0. What an absolutely fantastic map number 2. Map number 1, that was a wash. Kinship Ghost, they never showed up one bit. But map number 2, it could not be closer. It it was a very good attempt, seriously. They should not be unhappy with how they played that one. Kinship Ghost, they had a lot of good things going for them on Overpass in particular. You know, Vertigo, okay, yeah, look, you got to go back to the drawing board for that one, man. I'm not going to lie. That was not your best showing. But, you know, Overpass, they look so good. GGPR just, you know, they adapt so quick. With a 4-0 spot, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is a guaranteed ESEA advanced spot. At the very least, you know, they're semifinals bound. Well, that's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this cast whatsoever, through all my voice cracks, my fumbles, and mincing of words, please feel free to follow me on my Twitch or my Twitter. They're both in the bottom left of your screen at the moment. It's at ItoKP on Twitter and Ito_TV on Twitch. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for putting on the show for me, both teams. I'll go ahead and see you guys a little bit later. Have a good night. We'll see you soon. I miss the warmth of your touch and your embrace. No one ever made me feel so safe, so safe. Slow down, don't forget me now. I don't wanna fade out of your memory, your memory. Hold up, I know I have my doubts, but I want to fade back into your memory, your memory, your memory. I always seem to take the wrong turn, repeating history. When will I learn? I learn. I miss the